2 weeks went by, and Ron was very upset because he hadn't seen Katie. And then all of a sudden, there was a knock on the door. Ron said, "Answer the door, Sarah." So she did. It was Katie standing there. But she wasn't alone. She had a man with her. Sarah was polite and asked him to come in. They did. Katie said, "I want to introduce you to my husband." Sarah was excited and said, "Oh, so nice to meet you." Sarah really wanted to say, "You never even mentioned that you had a husband." But that was not a big deal to her. On the other hand, Ron turned white as a ghost. Left the room, went in the bedroom, punched a hole in the wall. Sarah didn't know that at the time. All she heard was a big bang. So she excused herself, went in the bedroom, and asked him, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What's wrong?" She looked down. Ron's hand was bleeding. She says, "You put a hole in the wall. What? Why? Why?" And he goes, "Get out of here. Just get out of here." So she went back in the living room to try to entertain her guests. Had small talk with them, trying to, I don't know, make it more comfortable for her and her guest. Finally, Ron came out of the bedroom. He had his hand wrapped up with gauze. Sat down across from Katie and stared at her as she was Satan. Sarah noticed the dirty looks that he was giving her. Sarah kept talking, trying to, I don't know, ease the uncomfortableness that was inside the room. The thickness of the room was heavy. George kept talking as if nothing was wrong because he didn't know anything was wrong. Except for that he did notice that Ron's hand was bandaged. So they had cocktails. And an hour or so later, George gets up. It's Katie's husband. His eye starts going back of his head. He falls to the ground. Katie and Sarah jumped up to try to help him. Ron just looked at him. Katie's hollering, help me, please help me." Sarah was trying to help her too, and told Ron to call 911. And he goes, "No, I owe them nothing. I owe him nothing." Sarah was just baffled by this. So she went to go call 911 herself. Ron grabbed the phone out of her hand and hung it up. Katie looked up from the floor, holding George, trying to get some response from him. There was no response. So she hollered, "Please just get me to the car. Help me get him to the car. Please just help me get him to the car so I can take him to the hospital." So Ron agreed to help him to the car. Katie took him to the hospital. And after she closed the door, Ron said, "Just go to bed." Sarah did. Then Ron finally came to bed.